Hello and welcome. My name is Elia Del Molino. I'm a GIS analyst with the Berkshire Environmental Action Team, and we've been working in collaboration with the Housatonic Valley Association on the Stream Crossing project. So I'm here to talk about field-based hyperlinks and how to very easily display and share data using GIS. So we have before us the town of Stockbridge and what is just about a finished product. We're going to zoom in here. And this is downtown Stockbridge. There's Main Street, Route 7, and I'm going to show you how hyperlinking works. So up here we have this little lightning bolt. You want to click on it, and inside of these circles a blue dot will appear. You can click on that blue dot and up will come this dialog box, and from there you can jump to a number of documents. This is a JPEG, this is the inlet, here's the outlet, and the PDF survey document. And as you can see, it displays rapidly. Very easy to do. So back out of that, close out, and we're going to start from scratch. What fun, this is going to be thrilling. I'm not going to save the changes. Okay, we're actually going to take another step back, because we have to start by creating tables. So I'm going to go ahead and open a notepad document, and I have one pre-saved for the sake of this tutorial. It's called Tutorial Stock, for Tutorial Stockbridge. Now you can build them in either Notepad or Excel, no difference, same thing. So as you can see down here in our Excel file, we want to have our latitude, abbreviated as lat, and our longitude, and the software will use that information to display where exactly the stream crossing site is. So we're going to be using decimal degrees from the survey documents. We also want to have the eval, also known as the aquatic score, which we'll get from the online database, the inventory. And finally, we're going to be hyperlinking the PDF survey document with this table. So we're going to go ahead and find the latitude and the longitude. So I'm going to go into my computer, and I've saved all of my work in the F drive, which is my flash drive, inside of my stream crossing folder, inside of the documents, and I have it further organized by town name. So we'll go into Stockbridge, and we're going to scroll to, we'll do 001 C160. Okay, there's our survey document, so I'm going to open it right up. So as you can see, here's our crossing ID, and we have the GPS coordinates in latitude and longitude in decimal degree form. So I'm going to open up that table again and take down those coordinates. 42, 28, 282, and notice they're separated, the columns are separated not by spaces or dashes or hyphens, but by commas, and there can actually be no spaces. So we have then the negative 73, 34, 220. Okay, so now that we have the latitude and longitude, we'll be able to display where this crossing is, but we need a little more information before we go ahead and reopen ArcGIS. So we're going to find the aquatic score, and we're going to do so by going online, and everyone should be getting a little more familiar with this website, New England Road Stream Crossing Inventory Database. What fun, what fun. So we're going to scroll down until we see our crossing, and there it is, Stockbridge, MA, Housatonic River. It's on Glendale Middle Road. So we're going to open that up, and there we go. We have our crossing score right there, our aquatic score rather. And we also have the JPEG inlet outlet photos. So reopen that table, and under the aquatic score column, plug that right in. 0.9911. Separated by a comma, and now we're going to talk about relative paths and how we actually hyperlink a document. So this is the target document, this PDF survey document. Minimize that. So what we want to do is take a few steps back and look at how I organized this data. Now, the Beat and HVA discussed how to best organize data so it would be easily accessible and everyone could have a uniform folder hierarchy, and we decided the best way was to create a folder called Stream Crossing, and within that you have all of your maps saved right here, and then you have data, documents, geodatabases. Disregard these two. And we're talking about documents, specifically the PDF, but you also have JPEGs saved within this folder. And within that, it's further divided by town name. So Stockbridge is where we would find this specific document, and again it's further divided by the individual crossing IDs, and within that there's the PDF, the JPEG, and the other JPEG. So take a few steps back again, and now we're going to establish something called the hyperlink base, and you do so because it's somewhat of a shortcut. It'll make your life a lot easier, especially when you're dealing with many crossings. So we're in ArcGIS and we go to File, Map Document Properties, and you can see a little more than halfway down there's an open field called Hyperlink Base. So we want to give this software directions. That's essentially what this hyperlink base is. It's a general direction, like how would you get from Stockbridge to Boston. So mine is located within the F drive, and I'll just show you again. All my work is in the F drive. So you want to get on the F drive highway, if you will. And from there you want to go into your Stream Crossing folder. So again, Stream Crossing. And notice we're using backslashes, not forward slashes. Can't use forward slashes. Gotta use a backslash for this. And we'll go back, and within Stream Crossing folder, it's in the Documents folder, okay? So, sorry. We also want to write out Documents. And that'll be fine for now. If we were doing multiple towns, this is the hyperlink base you would want to use, so that you wouldn't have to, so that it would help better organize your directions, yeah. But because we're doing specific crossing specific to Stockbridge, we'll go ahead and type in Stockbridge as well. So Stockbridge, there we go. So now that we have that set up, which is somewhat of a shortcut, a general, you go there and then we'll give you directions afterwards. You also want to store relative path names to data sources by checking that box. So we're going to click Apply and OK. Great. So now we open up our table again, and we have to finish off those directions. So it already knows you go into the F drive, into the Stream Crossing folder, and into the Documents folder, into the Stockbridge folder. But where do you go from there? So we're going to look at this. Well, the next step after you go into Stockbridge is to go into the specific folder 001C-160. And what I do is I just copy paste this to make sure that I don't write anything out incorrectly. So we'll go back to this table and copy paste that. Another backslash, dive into that, and here's our PDF document, and again I'm going to copy paste it to make sure I don't get anything wrong. And from there all you have to do is type in a .pdf. Now if you're hyperlinking JPEGs, this is going to be .jpg, but this is PDF, so it's going to look like that. So now we have one Stream Crossing site, so we can load that up to our ArcGIS, and we're going to minimize that, save this, save it to a specific place that you know you can find it if you want to navigate to it again. I'm going to save it in my documents, Stockbridge. Saving that. Yes, overwriting. So you can just exit out of that. Now you want to add that. So you're going to click the Add Data button, which is a big cross with a diamond, a yellow diamond behind it. And we're going to scroll over to tutorial stock. Click Add. So you can see it popped up in our table of contents, but this is still just a big blank white screen. So to display that on the big blank white screen, you're going to right click on tutorial stock or whatever you named this table and go to display XY data. So within there you can see it's going to take our lat and long for the X and the Y field, which is great, but we have to define a coordinate system because right now it's unknown. So you want to go to Edit, select Geographic Coordinate Systems, World, WGS 1984. Add that. So it pops up right there, and this is what you generally use with decimal degree coordinates. Click Apply, OK, and yep, we got our one little dot there. And as you can see, you have another item in your table of contents, same name as your table, but afterwards it says events. So the events there denotes that it's a non-permanent, non-editable layer. So you want to make that permanent and editable so you can play with it a little bit and display data like the aquatic score and hyperlink it. So you want to right click on that, go to Data, Export Data, and give it an appropriate name. I'm going to call it tutorial stock point shapefile, and I'm going to save it within my Stockbridge data folder. So yes, I'm going to replace it. Okay. And I'm going to add it as a layer. And I'm just going to enlarge it a little bit so you can see it better. There we go. So we've got a big red dot, and you can just remove this now. The events, that was the events that I removed. So you have this big red dot, and now it's pretty simple. All you need to do is go to Properties. We're going to Display up in these tabs, in the Layer Properties tabs, Display. About halfway down, we have the Hyperlinks category, and we're going to support hyperlinks using a field. And we're going to check that, and the field we want to use is PDF, because that has our relative path, the directions, in other words. And make sure you have document there, it's not a URL or script. So we're going to click Apply, and OK. And now we're going to go and check our work to see if it did hyperlink appropriately or correctly, if we gave it the right directions. And we're going to do so by clicking this lightning bolt, which is the hyperlink button. It looks like a Gatorade symbol. And when you do so, a blue dot will appear in the center of this red point. Yep. So now we're going to click it, and it should pop right up. And there we go. We have our PDF survey document. And as you can see, it displayed rapidly. It's pretty easy to do. Great. So now we're going to add some reference, and I'm using ArcGIS 10, so I can just add a base map really easily. Esri makes it very easy, and I tend to use USA Topo Maps. So I'm going to add that for reference, so that if people look at this, they can say, oh, I know where that crossing is. Saw a snapper there one day. So we're going to zoom in on that. Maybe not that way, but here we go. And as you can see, it's right there, the side of the bridge. Again, there's the document. Okay. So that worked fairly well. Now, we're going to display this, display the aquatic score. So when you open the attribute table, you can see we've used the latitude, the longitude to display it first off. We've used the PDF to link the PDF relative path to link the survey document, and now we're going to display the aquatic score, which was 0.9911. Exit that. So we're going to go to Properties again, and go to Labels, and we're going to label it using aquatic score, and you can fiddle with the text symbol here, make it bigger, make it bolder, different color, but for this we're just going to go and make it red, and then we're going to click Label Features, and there's our aquatic score right there. And I'm going to go back and make it just a little bigger so that it's easier for people to see. There we go. So there's our aquatic score. And from there, you want to go back and create more files in your Notepad table or your Excel table. So whereas we have just this one site here with the link and the PDF and the aquatic score, you want to create one of these sets of data for each individual stream crossing. So that takes a bit of doing, let me tell you. Now I'm going to open up. There we go. So this is for the entirety of the Stockbridge stream crossing, and this has every site. You have all the XY data from the survey documents. Here's a crossing ID. I added a few more fields, like alternate crossing ID. I put in the town name, Stockbridge. I put in another crossing ID that some other groups might be more familiar with, the XY code. Then we have, again, the survey PDF relative path. You need to then go back and create another table for the JPEGs. So I have here the inlet for the JPEGs, so the in photo, and there's my relative path to the inlet photo. And you have to create multiple tables because Esri doesn't give you a way to link multiple documents using only one table, so you have to create multiple tables. So what you want to do is get a basic XY lat long down, the crossing ID potentially, maybe the eval, and then copy paste and then just make new relative paths. It saves a lot of time if you do something like that. And in the end you get something that looks more along the lines of what I showed you in the beginning. Not going to save that. There we go. And once you have all of these down, you can then proceed to display data using this graduated symbology here. And what we did here was divide the aquatic score into 6 different, I think it's 6 different categories, and that's also relative to the titles. We give them like insignificant, significant, severe, or full passage. So down here, if I could just draw your attention, we have full passage was 0.99 to 1, which is perfect, in other words. And then we have insignificant, and keeps going up, and the size also goes up along with the color. So red generally draws people's attention right away, and we wanted to make that big and red because those are, based on the aquatic score, the worst stream crossing structures. So I'm going to look at this one and see if, yep, so there's a culvert and it hasn't been, well, it's not very well maintained. It looks like there's some riprap and whatnot. and the outlet, you can barely see it. And here's some more data on it. Coordinates, and then we have all of this to look at. What fun. So that's about it with hyperlinking. I hope this helped you out. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. My email address is aaliyah@thebeatnews.org.net. One of the two. I think it'll work. Anyways, everyone have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Any other questions, please feel free to contact me.